Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the arena here in the UAE. We're in Abu Dhabi for the first of the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup qualifiers. It's the president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup week here in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi at this beautiful equestrian club. And we're here with one of the major competitions this week. Let's have a look at some of the competitors taking part this afternoon. 37 riders coming forward representing 19 nations. Muda Zayada in the first block. He's defending the Longines Grand Prix champion in 2020. 11th in is Emanuele Gudiano, one of two Italians. He won the qualifier yesterday. He's also won two other classes. The Italian is on great form. Constant van Passion, he's for Belgium riding Isidore van der Hel, already with 2 seconds, looking for his first win in the Longines Grand Prix. Hani Kamal, Raji Bisharat for Jordan, a former professional rally driver. He's now taken to the sport of equestrianism the last 10 years. He's riding Chatinu. For the UAE, and there are 6 riders representing our hosts here in the UAE. And it's Sheikh Ali Abdullah Al Qassami with Sanita. He's 30th of the 37 riders in. We have one competitor from Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran is represented by Adil Kasharov, riding the 14-year-old Comino. And the final rider into the arena will be the second of the 2 Italian challengers, Simone Cota riding Varjahoy. That's the 37 competitors and 19 nations represented. Well, the job of the building this course goes to Alan Wade from Ireland. He's built a fabulous course here. It's 84 seconds of time allowed, and I'm delighted to be joined by Mohammed Al Nadki. And Mohammed, you're going to take us through the animation.
Yes, thanks, Phil. So we start off on the left canter over the president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup fence on in front of the judges' box. A nice smooth turn back to the Cavalier triple bar, and then we have 5 strides to the rocking horse, and then a long, smooth, flowing 9 strides to the Abu Dhabi Sports Council fence. Then we get ready for the Longines triple combination. It's Oxer, 2 strides, Oxer, and then finishes with the 1 stride and the upright. And then it might be either maybe a 7 strides to the next fence, and they turn back in front of the judges' arena to a tricky line. An Oxer followed by 6 strides to the double, Shira, double in front of the screen. And then after that, smooth left turn to the UAE Equestrian Federation fence. After that, there will be a turn back to fence number 11. That will be the Expo 2020 fence. And finally, we head down to the last line, jumping number 12, an Oxford butterfly, and then 4 strides to the last Longines upright.
Mohammed, thank you very much indeed. We'll talk more about the course as it unfolds. But a lot of conversation about the weather, Mohammed, because as we can see the shots on the screen, whilst it's not cold, it's very, very windy. And Mohammed, we've already seen a couple of fences when they were building them being blown down. Do you think this might be a problem this afternoon?
I think it will, but I think the course designers and the assistants, they've added more sandbags, and if you walk through the course, you'll see the 2nd and 3rd poles. Sometimes if it's a plank, they've taped that to the cup to prevent it from rocking and affecting how the horses jump.
And I understand correctly, you were saying earlier, so there's no wall going to be in this class because of the wind, and also no planks on the top pole, on the top cups.
That's correct, because the Grand Prix is also a qualifier to the World Equestrian Games taking place in Denmark this year actually. So, but Alan Wade has managed to fulfill all all the requirements, and the ground jury and the president of the ground jury and foreign judge are happy with the course, and it will still be a qualifier despite the weather conditions.
Well, we've got the horses waiting to come in as 37 competitors representing, as I say, the 19 nations, and one sole representative for Latvia coming in to the arena for the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. And it is Kristaps Neretniks for Latvia, and he's riding the 12-year-old gelding Valor. And Mohammed is just having a look at the Liverpool underneath one of the uprights. Of course, that's perfectly allowed to familiarise the horses with the arenas, because they go into so many different arenas around the world, travelling. And of course, Mohammed, just whilst we wait for Kristaps to commence his round, you're Vice President of the Show Jumping Committee for the UAE Equestrian Federation. Of course, the sport has grown in the last 25 years. It's grown dramatically over here, hasn't it?
It has. This is the 11th edition of the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. The first one actually took place back in 2010. We had to cancel 1 year due to that global foot and mouth disease that was happening during the last decade. But the show has grown. It's managed to attract top riders, top teams. And initially, when we first started this event, we were flying teams in just to come and take part. But now we have teams joining us from the beginning of our winter tour at the end of December, beginning of January, and staying here all the way to the end of February.
And those teams are not just from the region. We've got European teams staying in the different Emirates, haven't you?
That is right. Yep. So it's a lot of great riders, a lot of great sport to look forward to, and it's really good. All the local-based riders here, they've really benefited from the experience watching these top show riders that they only manage to watch on TV during most of the year.
So the UAE Equestrian and Racing Federation, now one of the prominent federations in equestrian sport. Horse racing, of course, been established in the region for several years, but the sport of show jumping, very serious contenders indeed. And this, of course, this show, as Mohammed, as you've just said, is now a regular on the calendar. Lucky for us, because it gives us an opportunity to come and see you.
Yes, and with the new rules, with the time allowed, 84 seconds here, as we see Kristaps, so a lot of the riders will be keen to see what line he takes, especially between the jumps, so that they don't hang around and lose valuable faults with the time. So,
and it's a 2-round competition as opposed to clears going through to the jump off. So 25% will be allowed into the second round, irrespective of their results from the first round. So if there's 11 clears, only 10 can go through.
That's correct. So yeah, as of now we have 37 riders, so 10 will go through to the next round. Kristaps doing a good job during the first half of the course, and yeah, just having a rub there, but so far his last 4 fences. Unfortunate to have that down with the back legs, the UAE Equestrian Federation fence. He's down to 3 fences left. The time seems that it'll be okay for him. He'll be inside the time, but the judges might decide to shorten the time and make it even more challenging if they choose to.
Quite correct. He's got the clock in 79.3 seconds. Kristaps Neretniks, and the time allowed is 84 seconds. He has the 4 faults. So that is 4 faults for Kristaps Neretniks and Valor for Latvia. What is the ruling, Mohammed? How many for the ground jury to alter the time? Is it after 3 horses or 5, as I can't remember?
It's 3 horses who complete the round without having a stop.
Okay, right, thank you.
So it's the first 3 horses. So next in is a very young rider, Abdullah, and he's just turning 18 this year. So this is only his first year that he's allowed to jump at a high-level Grand Prix. He's very talented. It's the first time we see him here in UAE. He's just joined us actually in November, did some of the national shows. He's here with his father, and he has a really good, bright future.
So for Uzbekistan, the 18-year-old Abdurrahman Abdullayev riding the 12-year-old Quinter. Big moment for this young man.
Definitely. His first 5-star Grand Prix, and wish him the best of luck. He had just one fence down yesterday in the qualifier with this horse, so I think just getting used to the fences, because it's different from doing a 2-star, 1 and 2 and 2-star Grand Prix. It's a different sport. So far flowing well, and now heading to the Longines triple combination. Yeah. So just made a small mistake in there, having the B part 6B down on the Oxer. So he has to keep maintaining the rhythm as well, so that he doesn't be slow and get some time faults as well. So it's a challenge, and I think Alan Wade created a big fair course. So that was a big jump, and is down to his last 3 fences.
The difficult turn is coming in to the Expo fence.
Heading towards the last 2 jumps. That's a very wide Oxer there. Yep, number 12. Yeah, and having that down, but finishing inside the time.
Finishes with the 8 faults and 78.3 for Abdurrahman Abdullayev for Uzbekistan on Quinter. Despite the 2 fences down, Mohammed, you know, for this young man, 18 years old, actually, he rode that very well.
He did really, really well, and it's all good experience under his belt, and he can build on that.
So it's looking like the time of 84 seconds. The time allowed set by the ground jury. It looks not out of reach. It looks quite easy, in fact, 4 or 5 seconds. So if they leave it at 84 seconds, then the athletes have got a little bit more time to consider their lines and consider their strides, haven't they?
Yep, for sure. So we'll wait and see if they decide to shorten it after Amr's round. They haven't decided yet. Probably they're just waiting to see that.
For Syria, one of the 2 very prominent Hamcho brothers, Amre Hamcho with Vagabond de Forêt, and they've been riding very well this week.
Yeah,
both of the Hamcho brothers. Irish international competitor Billy Toomey out here training these 2 guys.
And Amr has done well with this horse recently, so it had really good placings. So I think they've clicked together really well. His brother used to ride this horse, and now he's taken over the reins. So far so good. I think he's just moving, realizing that he can't afford to hang around. Oh, see, again having the back bar of the middle combination in down, and 4 faults up on the board. So coming into this line to 6 strides to the Shara double. Rides that well. This is a big fence here, the Federation fence. Does well going over it, and like you said, this is a hard turn back. So
nicely done.
So it seems he's a little bit slower than the other riders. Makes it. Still manages to finish inside the time.
1 fence down the middle of the Longines triple, so 4 faults for Amre Hamcho. His time 82.26. Amre Hamcho, Vagabond de Forêt goes into 2nd place. And just to remind ourselves that irrespective of the faults, it's the top 10 after the 37 riders have completed the first of the 2 rounds will go into the 2nd round. Now we've got the defending Longines FEI Grand Prix champion from 2020 for Egypt, Mouda Zayada, with the 9-year-old Katia.
So Mouda is our champion here from the last CSIO 5-star, which was in 2020 and 2021. The nation without the Nations Cup, so he's actually our last CSIO 5-star champion. Could say that.
And I've just, Mohammed, if you excuse me, I've just been given a message. Someone just very kindly has just given me a message to say one of the 37 riders has dropped out from the first round, which means only 9 can now go through to the jump off. So all of a sudden, there's one less place into the second round. I understand it's Trevor Breen, who won a class earlier in this arena today. His team of Z7 doing very well here in Abu Dhabi, but Trevor Breen not coming forward for the Longines Grand Prix.
So just Mouda having the Abu Dhabi Sports Council fence with the Liverpool down, so early 4 faults in the course. Okay. Just a light rub there, but stays up. He's doing well on the time as well. Very tight turn. Another rub. Jumps over that wide Oxford. Oh, and has the last fence down.
And so the Longines defender for Egypt, Mouda Zayara and Katia, have 2 fences down, 8 faults, time of 77.21. But Katia, just a 9-year-old, this mare, so wouldn't have jumped many courses of this level.
No, and I think it's just a good experience for him. They've been clicking and doing well, especially in the 145 speed classes together. So I think, yeah, some more experience with them. And this horse will get older and wiser and jump better with him.
Now we go to Jordan, Maysam Bisharat.
Saudi Arabia. Sorry.
I do apologise. I've missed the rider out completely. Badr Mohammed Al Fad for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with the 13-year-old gelding Mo'in. 4 of the 36 riders now gone. Looking for our first clear. 2 on 4 faults, and the clock not playing a part at the moment. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Badr Mohammed Al Fad with Mo'in.
And the sport in Saudi Arabia has grown, so it's good to see a lot of new riders, especially now that they have the female riders as well taking part. So the sport is growing a lot, so keep an eye out on Saudi Arabia the next few years. It's nice, they're going to be hosting the FEI World Cup final in a couple of years, and also the next World Equestrian Games, the one happening after the one that's taking place this year in Denmark. So nice place to be, and exciting sport. Unfortunately, yeah, had the last B and C part of the combination, and this is a new level for Badr and Mo'in, so I think they're picking up some experience together here. A little bit challenging. Again, having so we decided to take a very big turn, and he might end up with a time fault or 2.
Super finish. Went outside the time, but took plenty of time over this very big track. So it's 18 penalties in all for Badr Mohammed Al Fad for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with Mo'in. And as you say, of course, Saudi Arabia already with Olympic riders such as Dr. Al Shabatli, who's coming in later on, and the sport for sure is now going to grow at a rapid rate.
And it's just great for the whole region, actually. So it's nice to have the sport grow here in the region.
Sure. Now we go to Jordan. Delighted to welcome into the arena here in Abu Dhabi, Maysam Bisharat, riding Undola de Blondel, 14-year-old stallion by Tarlock M.
This combination has been doing really well recently over the last few years. They've built a good bond together and good consistent results. So I wish her the best of luck riding in this top level.
Back in November was competing in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia before coming out here to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, she had unfortunately a fall with the horse in Saudi Arabia, but good news, they managed to both recover, and now they're back jumping at 5-star level just a month later. So, good news. She's doing really well in the triple combination. Oh, just a little bit deep in there. The 7 strides at 7. Does well, the Shara double. Yep, so horse just jumping a little bit to the left there and having the UAE Equestrian Federation down. Last 3 fences. Time should be okay for her. Just about, maybe.
Big jump over the last. Just clicks over that 84 seconds, so 9 faults in all for Maysam Bisharat. For Jordan with Undola de Blondel. Puts them into 5th place at the moment with 6 competitors that have gone.
Those 4 faults are looking good right now compared to the rest,
sure.
But we're still waiting for our first clear round. With still a lot of top riders to go soon, so let's hope maybe this man can give us our first clear round.
Well, he's more than capable. The older brother of Ahmed Hamcho we saw off just a few rides ago, now for Syria, Ahmed Sabah Hamcho with Varone de la Roque.
So the good news is after the first 6 competitors, the wind has kind of calmed down a bit, and I hope it stays this way for the rest of the competitors.
Ahmed had the honor and privilege to be one of the flag bearers for the Syrian Arab Republic at the 2020 Olympic Games.
Smooth so far. Jumping that Liverpool well. Heading to the Longines triple combination. Just having that middle combination.
And we've seen that come down a few times, Mohammed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, I think more than half the competitors, 4 out of the last 7, have had the middle part down. Having the first part of the Shara double down, 9A. And the UAE equestrian fence, unlucky, just a slight tap, it comes down. This time's pretty fast, but unfortunately 3 fences is
Indeed, stop the clock, 80.41, but the 3 fences down, so 12 penalties in all for Ahmed Sabah Hamcho for Syria.
So unfortunately not his day, and now we're looking forward to the first of the home riders.
And you've got 6 representing the United Arab Emirates taking part. This one of the highlights of the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup week And the first of those riders representing our hosts here in Abu Dhabi, Mufi Oweda Al-Kabi, with the 17-year-old mare Balagenta by the wonderful Balibé Douai.
So this combination is the first time they're jumping at this level. His cousin used to ride this horse, and he just took over the reins 2 months ago. So, but they've managed to build up together slowly, and wish them the best of luck here. It's a very honest mare, and she tries her best. Has good rhythm flowing so far.
Clever.
So yeah, very challenging coming in. You need to measure that, how you take the first part of the triple combination very carefully.
And it looks like it's retirement for Mufi Oweda Al-Kabi for another Arab Emirates with the wonderful 17-year-old mare Balicenta.
Guess he noticed that it's going to be hard to make it to the second round, and he wishes to save her.
Absolutely.
She jumped really brilliant the first half of the course.
No, a very sensible approach. We stay with the UAE. Abdullah Humaid Al-Maheri with the 12-year-old Alan Daigle.
So Abdullah, a very experienced member of the UAE national team, but with this combination he's also taken over the reins only two months ago, so they've only had a couple of shows, 5 or 6 shows to get to know each other, to come into at this level. So, but they've managed to get to know each other well, and I'm hoping he does well today, as his other horse, which was supposed to be on the Nations Cup team, got injured. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing him on Sunday.
Sunday, the Longines FEI Nations Cup, the first of the qualifiers. Abdullah Humaid Al-Maheri, Alan Daigle for the UAE. Looking for our first clear, the 9th of the 36 competitors in the arena.
Abdullah, very calm rider. It's good. See how if he gets a good shot at the triple. That's super there. And he takes the 7 strides very smooth. Heading to the line, the Shara double. Oh, just a little bit too deep there. And yeah. So has the first part of the combination down as well. So fortunately that line was not kind to them. So 3 down just on the before the last line. So it was going well, fortunately, just unfolded there for him. And just over the time.
Just over the time, so that makes it 14 penalties for Abdullah Humaid Al-Maheri and Alan Daigle. The first part of the course was beautiful.
It was. So even the combination not used to jumping at this height as well. So even it's a long course, and some horses will need that endurance and fitness at the end of the course to be able to manage. So perhaps they need a couple more rounds together and it'll be sorted. But yeah, did really well.
And now in the arena here in Abu Dhabi, the first of the European competitors who've started to come here in their droves over the last few years. For Belgium, Willem Vermeer with IQ Van Het Steenke. So for Belgium, Willem Vermeer, IQ Van Het Steenke. So 9 of the 36 competitors have gone, so we're quarter of the way through the class. We don't have any clears yet, but it's the 2-round competition, so the top 10 riders, the top 9 riders of the 36, 25% will go into round 2, irrespective of their score in the first round. So at the moment we have 2 on 4 faults in Christophe Neretnex and Amre Hancho looking for our first clear. But the top 10 will go through to the second round. Top 9. I keep saying 9 because it was 9. Thank you, Mohammed, for correcting me. The top 9.
So Willem doing well so far. Has a good shot at the triple combination. Jumps that really well. So still waiting for our first clear, and it's our 10th rider. I think the judges did a good job with keeping the time allowed the same, because it's the course is challenging enough, especially with these weather conditions. And you don't have the horses focusing a lot with all the wind blowing. Oh, unfortunate they're having the UAE Equestrian Federation down, fence down, and he was jumping really well.
And didn't waste any time on that turn, Mohammed, because of course if we've got 4 falters going through, it will be decided on the speed for the top 9.
Yep.
And he stops the clock in 80.84 with the 1 fence down for Willem Vermeer and Ik Van Het Steenke for Belgium. Puts them into second place behind Christophe Neretnex.
So second place is going to be happy with this round. Unfortunate fence down there, but with these weather conditions, it will be a challenging course. So let's see if our next man, who's won the qualifier yesterday with the same horse.
And he has indeed. What form has he been in? He's won 2 classes. He was second earlier today. He represents Italy. It's Emanuele Gordiano with Nicolac de Music. Just a 9-year-old by Cannon, but in great form this week.
Definitely in great form in all the classes being placed.
It is for Italy. They give us the first clear. Emanuele Gordiano, Nicolai de Music, Italy.
So having a smooth round so far with the first 4 fences. Just a slight rub at the Liverpool, but manages to stay up.
Emanuele Gordiano, familiar at the majority of the 5-star shows around the world.
So he rides that line really well with the triple combination and the 7 strides. Oh, just having that back bar down. That turn away from the gate seems to be trouble for some of the riders, with the horses just losing focus and looking at that gate there. So another 1 on 4 so far, and just notice he's just taking a shortcut. There. Yes. Start moving faster. So very conscious rider.
That was a well-judged round. It's just a 9-year-old, Nicolas de Musac, and that puts them into first spot at the moment. He does have the one fence down, the 4 faults. His time at 76.72 into the lead. The Italian in form, Emanuele Gordiano, Nicolas de Musac. What a lovely 9-year-old, Mohammed.
Jumping really, really well. Just unfortunate to have that down, and probably comes as lack of some experience at this high level. But he gave him really good ride and did a smart choice by taking that inside turn there to save some time. So he's 3 seconds faster than second place nearly.
And now we return to our host nation, United Arab Emirates. Sheikh Ali Yamal Nasser Al Nawami with the 13-year-old gelding Casper AJ.
So Sheikh Ali and Casper, he's had Casper since he was a 4-year-old horse. So they've grown up together over the last 9 years, and he's taken this horse up from the young horse classes all the way up to 5-star level. And it's really nice to to see that when combination they just grow together and develop. So they just need a little bit more experience, but they've had really some good placings in the last World Cup show in Al Ain, coming in I think he was 3rd or 4th place in that. So they did really well. Needs to keep moving though, so doesn't want to pick up time faults, which can prove very costly. Just rubs the back bar of the B combination, but manages to stay up and jumps that line really well. See him picking up the rhythm there. Just coming down on that back bar. Just misjudges that line.
Misjudges Estrada. What a superb round it was for Sheikh Ali Yamal Nasser Al Nawami until that fence. Casper AJ looking okay. Got the rein around his foot, so he's sensibly standing still. And Sheikh Ali sitting up.
I think he's okay. I think mostly disappointed that it was such a great round, and yeah. So glad to see he's just winded and he's doing well, back on his feet.
So Sheikh Ali gets a round of applause as he leaves the arena, as does Casper AJ. Great shame for the UAE, for the round was going so well until those last 2 fences. So 12 of the 36 competitors have completed the course or been into the arena here in Abu Dhabi. Still looking for our first clear. We've got 4 on 4 faults, headed by Italian Emanuele Gordiano. His time 76.72. Top 9 go through to the second round.
Yeah, so 4 faults seems to be a good score to have so far.
And although we still have several riders to come, Mohammed, we've noticed with the last 2 or 3 riders, when they've had that 4 faults down, they've really changed the gear. It's the speed of their round to try and get at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and I think the speed which they finish their round, especially on 4 faults, is going to be very, very important.
The second rider represents the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Khalid Abdulrahman Al Mopti, with Grunerga Quibus, 11-year-old gelding by Ustinov.
So Khalid still is a new string of horses this year and still getting used to them, so still getting some experience under his belt with all the new rides that he's had.
Individual gold medalist 2 or 3 years ago at the Asian indoor games. Also 2 team goals in that competition.
So I think the course is very inviting, the first 4 fences, and then gradually just starts getting a little bit more technical after that. So it's nice for the horses to get a feel of the arena and of the jumps, and then it comes down to the to the riders' decision making, which line they choose, and hopefully they can get a good distance, especially here in the triple combination. Slight rub, but it stays up. Rides that line well. Just slightly slower than some of the other riders, but it's also important to keep defenses up. Rides that line really well. Takes a good shot at the UAE Equestrian Federation fence. Takes kind of a big turn, but manages to clear it.
Still clear.
Still clear.
Khaled Al-Rahman Al-Mopti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. In the last line. Will this be our first clear? It is, and he's inside the time. So that is a superb result for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Khaled Al-Rahman Al-Mopti, Bruno Prix make it the first clear round here at the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. What a great round. We now have a clear.
So I think he's showed them how it's done. Really good rhythm, finishes inside the time, and I think they really needed that clear round for the confidence, boosted their confidence. That's great jumping.
9 go through to the second round, irrespective of their scores, carrying forward their penalties, of course. So Khaled Al-Rahman Al-Mopti now at the moment with 13 of the 36 gone, with the upper hand. Still got a lot of sport to come, and this man from Belgium is already been in second place twice this week in good form. Constant Van Passion with Isidore van der Hel for Belgium.
So Constant has been here from the end of last month, so he's managed to do a couple of shows in Al Ain, and this is his second show as well as in Abu Dhabi, so around his 4th show in the UAE. So he's had a feel of this ground in the last show 2 weeks ago, the 4-star World Cup, and he's had some really great results. Jumps that really well. So manages to just clear that. But, so far so good. Last 4 fences. See if he decides to take a tight turn back and just takes his time on that fence. I think focusing more on the clear.
Just the last. Big kick, big jump, it's clear, and he's a quarter of a second inside the time, and that is clear number 2 for Belgium. Constant Van Passion, Isidore van der Hel go clear.
Finishing just inside the time.
Round number 2.
So we're just nearly approaching the halfway, and it's nice to have our 2 clears. It's like a London bus, you don't get any, and then you had 2 in a row.
Mohammed, you're so right.
Yeah.
One of those those two clears was for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, another representative for that nation here in the arena at Abu Dhabi now. For the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Abdulrahman Araki with Bravo, 16-year-old gelding. Mopti, the first clear for us, representing the Kingdom.
So Abdurrahman had some good placings in this horse in Al Ain and the last 4-star World Cup show here two weeks ago. So jumping well so far, heading to the Longines triple combination. Manages to get out of that and rides the 7 strides nicely. Unfortunate to have both parts of the combination down, and well, it seems he might.
And that looks like it's retirement for Abdulrahman Daraji with Bravo for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
I think he felt something off with his horse. Very sensible thing to do.
Yep, sure. And we stay with Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So we go to rider number 16 of the 36 in this, the first of the 2 rounds of the Longines FEI Grand Prix here at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup in Abu Dhabi. Abdullah Al-Shabatli with Hunter C. And we talked earlier about the growth of the sport of jumping in Saudi Arabia. And of course this man will go down in history as being one of the flagship riders that have got the sport going, the momentum behind the sport. Team bronze, the 2012 Olympic Games in London.
Yeah, so he has team bronze and also came second place back in 2008 was in the World Equestrian Games in Kentucky. Great CV, full of lots of accomplishments for Abdullah Sharbatli.
And he must be a rider in his nation. As you say, we know that the sport of jumping is getting bigger and bigger, but they must be aspiring to be like Abdullah, all the riders.
He's always a fighter in the arena, I'll tell you. And he's not wasting any time. So a lot of experience, manages to jump that beautifully, triple combination, and that 7 strides down towards the judge's end. So this line seems to be causing riders some problems. Rides that superb.
Good shot.
So down to the last line, time was good.
Time is very good. Will this be the second clear for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? He comes down to the last, he gets over it, the crowds cheer, and that is clear number 3 in the Longines Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. Clear for Abdul Al-Shabatli with Hunt to see for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And more importantly, that's the fastest clear so far. So puts himself right at the top of the leaderboard.
So 3 clears at the moment. Now it's starting to get very interesting. It is the turn of the
There's just 9 places, 25% of the amount of starters from the first of the 2 rounds go into the second round. We've had 3 clears. And 3 clears at the moment. Abdullah Al-Shabatli, who we've just seen for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, fellow countryman Khalid Abdullah Al-Rahman Al-Mobdi, and Constant van Passion for Belgium. That's the 3 clears to date. Now we go to Sweden. Evelina Tovek with winner 2 de la Hamont. Sangazider bred 12-year-old gelding by Winning Mood.
So we have 2 Swedish riders here in the Grand Prix, Evelina Tovek and Henrik von Eckermann. So same team. This young lady has had a lot of success on the European circuits. Doing well so far, heading to the Longines triple combination. And again, 6B being the problem fence in the triple combination. So rides that line to the double combination really well. Takes your time, get a good shot at the expo fence. Jumps that really well. So now the time is important.
And is the 4 faults at 81.57, which puts Evelina Tovek for Sweden into 7th place. 4 faults, 81.57. Evelina Tovek with winner 2 de la Hamont Z.
It does seem that if the 4 falters will go to the second round, it might only be the really fast ones.
The fastest 4 faulter at the moment, who's currently in 4th place for Italy. The man who's been in flying form this week, Emmanuel Gordiano. His time 76.72. We now go to Germany. Miriam Schneider with Fiber Fresh Popeye. Germany here to challenge for the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup competition on Sunday.
So it seems she's the only German rider in the Grand Prix. The rest of the team, I guess, saving their horses for the Nations Cup. Having a good start so far to the round. Jumps the Liverpool well, heading to the Longines triple combination. She decided to go for a long approach and really show her horse the jumps really well. Good decision. And she's not wasting time, she's moving. Riding that really well. Just drifting out to the right, but manages to keep her horse. Really wide turn,
but still clear.
Still clear and still moving. So
Down to the last. Plenty of time on the clock and plenty of height over the upright. That is clear, number 4. That's a clear for Germany. Miriam Schneider with Fiber Fresh Popeye. Make it clear, number 4. Germany into the second round.
That's the second fastest clear, so a pretty good time.
So those are the 4 clears that we had at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup presented by Longines.
So halfway done.
We're exactly halfway. 4 clears. 9 places in the second round.
2 World Championships, 2 Olympic Games. Good morning, Russia.
Now for Russia. Another familiar rider on the global circuit, Vladimir Tuganov with Good Morning B.
So Vladimir won the edition of the President's Cup last year when it was a 3-star show, because we didn't have the Nations Cup, and he won the Grand Prix last year. So he's been coming to the UAE for a long time, the last 7, maybe 6 or 7 years, and I think he enjoys the winters here, and he's had really great results when he's been competing in the UAE.
And really flies the flag for the sport of jumping in his home nation, for the Russian Federation. Last year receiving the Order of Glory of Ossetia in the Russian Federation. Huge honor.
So, very experienced rider. So gets out of the triple combination, rides that really well, and manages the 7 strides. So the penultimate line. So far so good. Maybe just a little bit slower than the other rounds, and just getting stuck in the corner there, so time will be important here. He might not make it in the time allowed.
I don't think he's going to. He jumps the last, he's clear, but he does have 4 seconds with the time allowed of 84 seconds. He stopped the clock at 87.18. 1 time penalty per second or part of. So that is 4 faults, but a clear jumping round for Vladimir Tuganov for Russia with Good Morning B.
So that is very expensive. So he's already in 10th place and out of the running for that, even though he did jump a clear. So it's very important to finish inside the time and not pick up any costly time faults with the change in the rules 2022.
2 riders representing the Netherlands here in Abu Dhabi this weekend in the Longines FEI Grand Prix. First of those 2, Bart Bless with Chris Kras DV.
من هولندا وبطل بطولة أبو ظبي الدولية عن فئة ال4 نجوم الفائز بصدارة أحد الأشواط البارز بارت بليس على قهوة الجوار كريس كراس من هولندا.
So Bart Blez and Jor Vreiling, they've just come to the UAE in the beginning of January, so this is their 2nd show here. They've done the 4-star World Cup show in the same arena 2 weeks ago, so their horses are getting used to the venue, and they've had really great results, winning and placing in classes so far.
And so recently was part of that European team for the Netherlands, reason back in Germany.
So really great results, and enjoying their time here in the UAE. So having a great round so far, down to the last 3 fences.
Quickest clear so far, 79.86. This is going to be a very quick round indeed. It's 80.84. It's a super clear. Into second place goes Bart Bless, Chris Crest TV for the Netherlands in 80.84. Just the 9 places available in the second round. Mohammed, we've had 5 clears so far. We've got another what have we got? Another 13 odd riders, 13, 14 riders. It looks like we're going to achieve over 9 clears. So now all of a sudden the pressure, as you've been saying throughout this class, the pressure's now really going to start putting it on the times.
Yeah, I think the time will definitely play a factor. You know, like you said, 13, 14 riders left, and we might probably get 5 more clears, 5 or even more than 5 clears. So time is definitely a factor there.
Now for Jordan, Hani Kamal, Raghi Bisharat with the Chaco Blue gelding, Chatinu.
Hani doing well yesterday, jumping clear in the qualifier, going into the jump off. And we'll see him again as well, jumping on Sunday in the Nations Cup with Team Jordan. Unfortunate having the C part of the combination, not one that we've seen come down a lot. So 2 rubs, but everything else stays up. Coming home, will finish just maybe inside the time.
And finishes in 11th place, the 4 faults at 83.25. Hani Kamal, Raghi Bisharat and Chatinu into 11th place, so out of the second round. Just to say that we were expecting Trevor Prix just prior to Hani Kamal, but he withdrew beginning of the competition. So we're down to 36 competitors. Trevor Breen's brother Shane Breen coming in later on in the competition. Now for Great Britain. Donald Whittaker riding the 14-year-old Chaco Blue gelding on this occasion, Vanino.
So only have 2 members of Team Great Britain jumping in the Grand Prix, but we will see them take part in the Nations Cup on Sunday.
Very keen to get that Nations Cup win. They haven't won the Nations Cup since 2010 out here, Great Britain.
So far jumping well. Good shot at that Longines triple and manages to jump it really well. Just a rub, slight rub at the back pole, but still stays up.
Just lost his right stirrup there, but he's got it back. A rub, not a big rub, but still there. That's what counts.
Yep, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. So now, last 3 fences, and interesting to see what time he finishes on.
It might be close to the 84 seconds time allowed, Mohammed.
Yes, really close.
It's still clear, and he races to the last. He jumps it, and the clock just tips over, and that puts him into 6th place, but he's got just the one time penalty, so clear jumping for Donald Whittaker for Great Britain and Vanino, but the one time penalty puts him in 6th place at the moment.
Yep, just shaking his head there, knowing that losing his stirrup, you know, just...
That cost him a second or two.
Exactly, exactly.
إذا بالنتيجة الأخيرة لدونالد ويتكر فانينو تغادر المجموعة المتأهلة للجولة الثانية، أي سيتم احتساب أفضل ال9 نتائج في هذه الجولة للتأهل للجولة الثانية.
Now for Syria. Mohamed Osama Al Zabibi with Amos to St. Simeon.
الفارس محمد أسامة زبيبي عفوا وتزدواد أموس بسيمون.
And just 21 years old, Mohamed Osama.
So pretty young and with a new combination. They're based here in the UAE, so they do compete in the National League. But their first time together as a combination jumping at this level. Doing well so far. Really well. It's a good shot in the triple combination and manages to guide him through that 7th stride. A little bit slow on the time, I see there, which might prove costly.
Remind ourselves, we have 5 clears so far. Only 9 combinations can go through to the 2nd round, so the clock is sure to play a part.
Oh. Just unlucky there, having the UAE Equestrian Federation fence down. They're jumping really well.
Well held. Inside the time, the 4 faults puts him into 13th place. So 4 faults for Mohamed Osama Al Zabibi and Amos to St. Simeon for Syria.
So that he's 13th place so far, but that 4 faults is good enough actually to qualify to the World Equestrian Games.
Yeah,
you know, 4 faults are better in this Grand Prix. So.
من دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة فارس شاب تألق في هذه البطولة، أخذ جولتين من دون أخطاء خلال أشواط البطولة. الفارس محمد عمران العويس عفوا وترجوة كرافيلي.
He managed to well held.
His teammates cheering him on.
And we go back to our hosts here in the UAE. Mohamed Omran Al Awais with the 14-year-old gelding Caravelli. Another one by the great Chaco Blue.
So he rode really well yesterday in the qualifier, just having the last fence down in the combination. Doing well so far. Oh, just manages to there.
He got there.
He got there. He got there. That's really well. Yeah, just drifted out right before the triple combination, but he managed to keep his horse on track.
through the double. Oh. Now the switchback.
Right, time is good. 2 fences left.
2 fences left. Just the last for the UAE. That was such a disappointment. In fact, Mohammed, I couldn't even see it even touch that ball, but it came down. So that is 4 faults from a great round for the UAE for Mohammed Omran Alawais with Caravelli.
Very, very, very unfortunate. Here's the replay.
81.72. It's a very good round.
Oh, frustration, no one can believe it.
Oh. Yep. So his uncle there, Mohammed Alawais, just holding his head and training him.
Now the sole representative for Austria, Katharina Rumberg, with the 10-year-old gelding Kuma. By Comilfo.
So this is her first event here in the UAE, and she's done really well. Really good placings in the classes she's competed against. Very competitive rider. Just having a touch and just slightly rolls back there. So you can see her starting to move up, knowing that she already has an early fence down.
Quickest 4-faulter at the moment, 76.72. Emmanuel Godiano for Italy in 7th place.
Very tight turn back there.
She's going to be slower than Emmanuel Godiano. Yeah. It's 79.33. It's quite a quick round. It puts Katharina Rumberg into 9th place at the moment with that 4 faults, with that quick time of 79.33. So Katharina Rumberg, 4 faults with Kuma for Austria into 9th.
So just hanging on to that last place. So still have around 11 riders left. So.
Mohammed, I'm in the UAE, in the beautiful Abu Dhabi, and I'm cold. What's going on here?
So the good news is the wind has died down, but the temperature must have dropped at least 5 or 6 degrees since the class started. I'll tell you that. Yes.
Now for South Africa, Oliver Lazarus with Butterfly in a med.
The president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup presented by Longines, and the combination of the Grand Prix appeal.
So Oliver doing well yesterday in the qualifier, placing top 6.
Oliver Lazarus, South Africa.
So representative for South Africa, Oliver Lazarus.
Far so good. So that's a good shot at that and manages to maneuver maneuver really well over the triple combination and down the 7 strides. That line really well as well. The UAE Equestrian Federation fence.
Still clear.
Still clear.
Looking very good indeed. Oliver Lazarus down to the last line. Plenty of time on the clock. It's 81.49 is the time. It's a clear round for South Africa. It's a clear for Oliver Lazarus. A butterfly NML. That's clear. Number 6. Number 5, I apologise. Number 6 is number 6. Clear number 6. And goes into 3rd place. So almost certainly will get through to the second round. Just 9 places. There are still 10 competitors to come. But that was a good clear in a good time.
So 10 to go and 6 clears.
For Egypt, Sayed Saad with Miss Cooper.
6 clears, 3 or 4 into the second round so far.
Egypt, who took the title of the last 5-star Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. That was with Muda Zayada, who got 8 faults earlier in this competition. Sayed Saad, the second of the 2 Egyptian riders in this class, are looking for a clear to keep Egypt in the hunt here in the Longines FEI Grand Prix.
Just a rub at BNC, but they both stay up. Oh. Yep, a little bit deep at number 7. Has the front bar down. It's a little bit distracting when the wind starts to pick up right in the middle of the round. Just another rub, but just the one down so far. He's very slow on the clock, and I think he will have time faults.
Well, in 9th place at the moment, 79.3 is the full fault time, and he's not going to do that, so won't be in the top 9, but still just the one fence down as he comes down to the last. He's already getting time penalties. Sayed Saad and Miss Cooper complete with 10 faults in the time of 89.86.
So 6 very costly time faults. It was a good round.
In 5 and 6 clears so far. Abdullah Al-Shabatli, Bart Bless, Oliver Lazarus, Miriam Schneider, Khaled Abdul Rahman Al-Mobti, Constant Van Passion, and then Donald Whitaker in 7th place for Great Britain with just the 1 time penalty.
So it is the one challenge from Kuwait.
9 competitors to come now for Kuwait. Talal Al-Zahim with Cannonball to Tulshia.
Cannonball to Kuwait.
So Talal is also based here in the UAE, the only representative from Kuwait on the show. He's had good success with this horse, placing well in some of the World Cup shows. Unfortunate early fence down there in the course, and now he knows that he'll need to move if he has any chance to make it in those fast 4-fault positions.
Needs to be well under 80 seconds, it's looking like, to be as quick as 4-fault.
Unfortunately, has part C of the
down, so that's
down.
gone. Yeah. Opportunities for the second round gone for Talal Al-Zahim.
bit the back pole there in the double combination, but stays up. And he's also slow in the time, and will pick up some maybe a couple of time faults.
Oh,
unfortunate run out there at the last fence.
and pops it over. Finishes on 28 faults. Talem Al Zahab for Kuwait with Cannonball to Tulishia Z, 28 faults. 8 competitors still to come. We had 36 at the beginning of the class.
So Abdullah Sharbatli guarantees his place so far.
Just 9 places available in the second round. 8 to come. Now for the UAE, Shikali Abdullah Al Qasimi with the 15-year-old man, Senieta.
Probably, if he had a choice, he would probably take his other horse in there, but unfortunately he retired yesterday with her and wasn't eligible to jump her. So this is a good speed horse, but you know, the course might be a little bit big. Just had a rub at number 2. Early fence down there at 4. Has the back pole of A down, 6A, so already on 8 faults, and has number 7 down as well.
And it looks like we're going to see retirement, I think.
Yeah.
Shikali Abdullah Al Qasimi for the UAE retires. Will Sanisha.
Well, they're top. Number 50 down. Shikali Abdullah Al Qasimi and Saniata. And there are 8 men to go. The ones that are wondering whether they're into the second round or not, don't really go one time.
So Bart Blaise and Abdullah Sharbatli secure their places so far. We have our Olympic team champion.
Olympic team champion who's making it a regular part of his season to come out here to the UAE representing Sweden. What a treat for all the crowds here. Henrik von Eckermann with Glamour Girl, team gold medalists from the Olympic Games. Of course, he was riding the great King Edward at the Olympics to get that gold.
Yep, faultless on every round he rode.
Henrik von Eckermann, Glamour Girl for Sweden.
So just having one fence down with each of his horses yesterday, so I think just getting to know the arena, the fences, and so sure he'll give them a better ride today. So very experienced and moving from the beginning of the course.
Skips through the combination.
So knows his horse well. He's already faster than most of the riders around the course. Henrik known for his speed. So doesn't hang around. Last line.
Cool. Oh, big rub.
Big rub there.
I think the
Stays
pole
up.
even twisted on the cups.
Yeah. Look at the time.
Look at the time and look at the jump. Look at the gold team gold medalist from the Olympic Games, Henrik van Eckermann. He makes it clear number 6, and he makes it the quickest round, the quickest clear that we have seen all afternoon here in Abu Dhabi in the Longines FEI Grand Prix. Clear number 7, Henrik van Eckermann, time 75.56 for Sweden.
So 4 seconds faster than Abdullah Sharbatli. Just shows you how much faster he is than the other riders.
And that has just pushed Kristaps the Neretniks out of the top 9. So now in 9th place, the only 4 falter in the top 9 to have those 9 places opportunities in round 2 is Emmanuel Gordiano. And we've got 6 riders still to come. 4 Great Britain. William Funnell with Equine America, Billy Picador. Great Britain with Donald Whitaker in 8th place with that one-time penalty.
Yep, so let's see if William can better the result of Donald. William Funnell also a regular in the UAE circuit for the past couple of years. As well in the triple combination.
Right. His time has got to be better than 76.72 with the 4 faults.
Yep, taking a very tight turn.
Definitely taking a tight turn there. He knows it's up against it with the clock. William Funnell, the Great Britain, comes down to the last line. He's not going to make that 76 seconds, so he won't be in that second round of the Longines FEI Grand Prix, but it is just the 4 faults at 80.05, puts him into 12th place.
80.05
So Emmanuel Gordiano holds on to that last remaining place of the 9 at the moment with his 4 faults.
So five riders left, and next one is a very scopy horse, but not fast on the clock. So it'll be a challenge for him to keep his horse moving through the courses. He might leave all the fences up, but the time might be a challenge for him.
For the Islamic Republic of Iran, Adil Kesharaz with Comino. Adil Keshavaz, I should say, with Comino.
So he's trying to move. It's a big horse, though. Trying to get a good rhythm to finish inside the time. Oh, unfortunate there. The horse isn't used to. Oh. Yeah.
Well recovered.
So 2 early fences, unfortunately, puts him out of the running.
And a bit of confidence lost over the last couple of fences, I think.
Yes. So not their day today, fortunately.
So the first part of the Longines combination rebuilt. Keshabaz now comes down to the Longines combination.
Tries again.
And skips through it.
Yeah, what an honest Scopy horse, unfortunately. But I think he lost some confidence there, definitely.
And that's elimination for Adel Keshabaz with Camino. 4 to go. 9 places in the second round. We've had 7 clears. We've got in 8th place Donald Whittaker on 1 time penalty and Emmanuel Gordiano in 9th at the moment with the 4 faults.
Riding the Champion President Racing Club's Keys, Fabian, Mohammed Al-Hajri,
and now representing the UAE, Mohammed Al-Hajri with G's Fabian.
So our last 6th rider from the UAE, and the best result is Mohammed Imran Al-Awais with the 4 faults, 15th, sitting in 15th place. I don't think the time will be a factor for them, but just have to leave all the fences up. They're pretty fast on the ground. Does well in the triple combination. Jumps that 7th straight as well. Adding for the Shara double combination. Clears that well. Okay, last 3 fences. Good on the time.
Fabulous. Now the last line for United Arab Emirates, Mohammed Al-Hajri. Just the last 84 seconds, the time allowed is clear. He's in the second round. That is fantastic for our hosts here in Abu Dhabi. Mohammed Al-Hajri for the UAE is now in 6th place. Guaranteed a place in the second round, the UAE. Great round. Clear number 8. And into 6th place goes Mohammed Al-Hajri for the UAE.
So really a great round of jumping, and they just had a fence down yesterday. So
we've got 3 to go, Mohammed, and realistically now, with 9th place Donald Whittaker on the 1 time penalty, only a clear will do.
Definitely, only a clear. 3 riders left, and three experienced riders left. You know,
and it needs to be a clear in realistically,
yes.
Well, well inside the time.
Yes.
Shane Breen for Ireland, Z7's Ipswich.
So very experienced. Very experienced combination here, and you know, they should probably know that only a clear will do right now.
And a winner in this arena earlier today.
Yep, has a nice string of younger horses coming through. You can see him not hanging around, he is moving. Manages really well over the triple combination, and so up to the Shara double. It's at 9. Jumps that really well. very good time and keeping all the fences up so far. Last 3 fences.
2 to go. Shane Breen for Ireland.
And he's fast
Down
as
to
well.
the last. It's a fast and it's clear. That is a super round for Ireland. Shane Breen makes it clear number 9 with Z7 Ipswich and puts him into second place with that time of 78.43. Shane Breen into the round 2 of the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. 2 to go.
So 2 to go and just clear rounds now onto the second.
Donald Whittaker for Great Britain just missed out as a result of that clear from Shane Breen. One time penalty puts him into 10th place outside the 9 places available in round 2. Another winner in this arena today already for the Netherlands, Jurvreiling with Long John Silver.
Winner earlier on this afternoon, yes, other questions, Long John Silver, the Netherlands.
So now they need a clear round and faster than 83.77 to go through to the second round.
Yes, that 83.77, Mohammed, as you say. That was the time set by Constant van Passion in 9th place.
A very experienced rider, so I'm sure he will manage his time around the course.
Team silver, Olympic silver medalist from the 2012 Olympics, as well as many other accolades. Jurvreiling for the Netherlands.
Jumps that superb.
Mohammed, he's still clear, but he doesn't look to be going very fast.
No, he doesn't. So that's the 83.77. You know, he might, if he does not want to pick up any time faults. Yeah. Just a little bit slow. And really close to the time allowed, but takes a very short turn to the Dubai Expo 2020 fence.
10 seconds to get home.
I think he will make it, and
he's got to stop the clock at 83.77 or less, and he's done that. It's 82.49 into 8th place. Goes Jurvreiling for the Netherlands, and Long John Silver into 8. Clear number 10, but into 8th place goes Jurvreiling, which means Constant van Passion with a clear round doesn't get into the second round.
That is very cruel, very cruel. And Muir was really close actually. If he didn't push at the finish line, he might as well, you know, he might have been slower than 83.77.
is lying in 9th position. This is the last to go in the first round.
And now the last of the 36 competitors of the first of the 2 rounds of the Longines FEI Grand Prix here at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup for Italy. Simona Cotta with the 13-year-old mare Vakkahoy. 82.66 is the time of Khalid Abdul Rahman Al Motti, who's in 9th place at the moment. Fills that last spot. That's the time that Simona Cotta has got to beat. Clear in less than 82.66 to get into the second round.
So the first 8 riders sitting comfortable right now, with Khalid Al Motti on the edge of his seat, just waiting for this round to be over. We can see Simone moving from the beginning, and knowing that time is important, because he needs to be faster than 82.66 and clear to go through.
Oh, that's gone.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Middle part of the triple combination, 6B going down, back bar. And unfortunately, we will not be seeing him in the second round. And the first part, both the A and B of number 9 coming down with double. So just finishing off his round. Unfortunately, he will be inside the time allowed, but 3 very costly fences.
And he pops over the last easily, but it is the 3 fences down, Mohammed, as you say, so 12 faults outside the top 9. He stops the clock at 82.13 and gets into 28th place. That completes the first of the 2 rounds of the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. And 9 places were available, 25% of the amount of riders that came forward for the first round. So just the 9 places. And let's have a look who's made it to round 2. Henri von Eckermann with Glamour Girl for Sweden, followed by Shane Breen for Ireland, then Abdullah Al-Shabatli for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Bart Bless, Oliver Lazarus for South Africa, Miriam Schneider for Germany. Truly international field. That's 6 of the 9 into round 2. Mohammed Al Ghadri for the UAE. Jerv Riley, can he win 2 classes in one day here at Abu Dhabi? And then 9th of the 9, Khalid Abdul Rahman Al Botti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's the 9 coming through for the second of the 2 rounds for the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. Let's enjoy some of the moments from the first round and look at some of the qualifiers. We're going to come off air for a few moments whilst they look after the maintenance in the arena, and join us in about 10 minutes time for the second of the 2 rounds for the Longines FEI Grand Prix 2022 here in Abu Dhabi. Enjoy some of the highlights from the first round. welcome back to the president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. What a fantastic weekend we have here. Today it is all about the Longines FEI Grand Prix. 36 starters representing 19 nations came forward for the first of the 2 rounds. There were only 9 places. 25% of the riders could get through to round 2. And let's have a look who made it. Khaled Abdelrahman Al-Mabti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Jerv Reiling for the Netherlands. Mohammed Al-Hazri for our hosts here in Abu Dhabi, the UAE. Miriam Schneider for Germany. Oliver Lazarus for South Africa. Bart Bless for the Netherlands. And the 3 remaining places, the second of 2 riders representing the Saudi Arabia, Abdullah Al-Shabatli, Shane Breen for Ireland, and Ulrich von Eckermann, team gold medalist for Olympic Games, with Glamour Girl here, will be last of the 9. And it was a very, very good course indeed, built by Irishman Alan Wade. And the short second round here of the Longines FEI Grand Prix, and I'm delighted to be joined by the Vice President of the Equestrian Federation Show Jumping Committee, Mohammed Al-Nadki. Mohammed, take us through the second round of the Longines FEI Grand Prix.
So they start to the left canter over fence number 1, and then a lot of riders will try to turn back to fence number 4, which will be the rocking horse, and then flowing quickly to the Abu Dhabi Sports Council fence with the Liverpool, and then a quick turn back, what's left of the triple combination, 6B and C. Then there's 7 strides to the next Oxer. Some riders might take the risk and try to do 6 if there's a chance, or they stick with 7, and then a turn back to 2 new fences. So we have fence 14, which is a new fence in upright, and heading to the last fence, fence 15, be Longines Oxer, right in front of the screen.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Mohammed, what is that? This is the weather. We're in the UAE. I have flown from a freezing Great Britain to get some sunshine, and look at the sky above us.
Well, we started off the round with really nice weather, and now both of us have our jackets on. So, yeah.
But it's still beautiful to be here in the wonderful Emirates. We're here in Abu Dhabi for the start of a huge weekend for the president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup.
So it's very exciting. We have 2 riders from Saudi Arabia, two from the Netherlands. We have our home rider, Mohammed Al-Hajri. So it's very exciting here in the second round.
It is indeed, you're quite right. I think I said there was only 2 from the Saudi Arabia, of course. There was also 2 from the Netherlands in Jerv Reiling and Bart Bless. Thank you, Mohammed. And 1 for our hosts here in Abu Dhabi for the UAE, Mohammed Al-Hajri. He will be 3rd in to the arena. Rider for Germany, Miriam Schneider. Germany, one of the teams, like all the other teams here, who will be competing in the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup, the Middle East qualifier, on Sunday. In the meantime, what these 9 riders want to do is pick up the Longines FEI Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi here this afternoon. Shane Breen and riding for Ireland and Jerv Reiling for the Netherlands, already both winners in this arena today.
The time for the first round, €150,000, 37,500 euro to the champion.
I've just noticed they have actually moved this fence in front of us here.
Yes, it used to be the butterfly fence, fence number 12, and now they're jumping it in the other direction, and it's been changed to a Longines Oxer. So the last gallop we'll see to that Longines Oxer. So in addition to the 9 riders who've made it to the second round, the top 22 have qualified to the World Equestrian Games, because that's the last result with 4 faults. So a lot of achievements here, even though they might not make it in the second round. So first rider coming in, Philip.
And the first of our 9 competitors in the second of the 2 rounds of the Longines FEI Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi, Khalid Abdulrahman Al Mopti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Riding Grunoga Quibus.
أول الفرسان المتأهلين لهذه الجولة من المملكة العربية السعودية الفارس خالد عبد الرحمن المقطي عقب الجولة
All 9 competitors were clear in the first round.
Yeah. So all eyes will be on the path that Khalid decides to take, if he decides to take any inside turns, and the distances between some of the jumps. So jumps 1. Quick turn back to number 4. So decides to take 1 stride out, does 8 strides, and wastes no time, going to part B and C of the Longines combination. 4, 5, 6. Yep, takes out a stride there, does 6 strides. So I think the other riders will be watching that and gallop down to the end.
And gallops down to the last of the Longines Oxer. Up and over, and it's clear, and he stops the clock in 38.24. What a start for the second round here of the Longines Grand Prix. What a start for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Clear, Khalid Abdulrahman Al Mopti and Grunoga Quibus, 38.24, and that is the time to beat.
So that's a really good round, and he did 7 strides, I think, from fence 14 to 15. So it'd be interesting to see what how the riders ride down to the last fence. And I think there's lots of shortcuts, and you can take out strides between some of the fences.
Now the first of the 2 riders for the Netherlands. Sheriff Reiling. Sheriff Reiling riding Long John Silver, just a 10-year-old. Lasino gelding.
Over. Also does 8 strides there. It's a good shot. And decides to do 7 strides.
Now left-handed down the last line. The new fence, it's gone.
Fence 14 is gone.
And he jumps the last, but it's academic in terms of a winning round, because into second place with 4 faults in a time of 41.55 goes Sheriff Reiling and Long John Silver for the Netherlands.
Yep, so slower, about 3 seconds slower than Khalid Al Mopti, and a fence down.
والمشارك الوحيد من دولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة حصل على المركز الثاني في جولة الجائزة الكبرى ببطولة العين فئة النجمتين.
Now the pressure on this man, representing the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed Al Hajri. Mohammed Al Hajri riding the 12-year-old gelding G's Famian. 38.24 seconds to beat, set by Khalid Abdulrahman Al Mopti.
Just the wind picking up there. Strides. It's a good jump at the trip.
Oh, just that front bar gone, so that's 4 faults. He needs to keep the pressure up now. keep as close as he can to the top of the leaderboard, and he stops the clock in 38.09. Look at that time. It's 4 faults, but 38.09 is the quickest round we've had so far. He puts Mohammed Al Hajri into second place with the 4 faults, 38.09.
So good try there, but just getting close. The fence number 7, deciding to do 7 strides there, but reacting a little bit late.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mohammed, Khaled Al Mobti took 6 strides coming down to that option. Is that correct?
He did 6 strides.
Yeah.
Took 1 out.
Now for Germany, Miriam Schneider, riding Fiber Fresh Popeye. 38.24, time set by Khaled Abdurrahman Al Mobti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's the target for Miriam Schneider.
So it gets interesting when you see 2 riders with 4 faults and you decide whether you want to ride a good clear round or try to go for it. Especially when you might not have the fastest horse in the field, with the fast riders like Shane Breen and Hendrik von Eckermann and Abdallah Sharbetli coming right after you, and Bart Bliss. And Miriam being the only female in here, so she's representing all the female riders.
Oh, just a rub.
Another one goes 6B and 7, so already on 8 with the last line.
And it completes with the 2 fences down, 8 faults in 43.58. Into 4th place goes Miriam Schneider for Germany with Fiber Fresh Popeye. We'll be seeing them on Sunday in the Longines FEI Nations Cup.
إلى جمهورية جنوب أفريقيا الحاصل على المركز الثالث في الشوط المؤهل لشوط الجائزة الكبرى بهذه البطولة.
To South Africa, Oliver Lazarus, 5th of the 9 competitors to come forward for the second round, riding Butterfly NML.
Oliver Lazarus and Butterfly NML, South Africa.
38.24, time to beat, set by Khaled Al Mobti for Saudi Arabia. Oh, well, you had to go for it.
Yeah, so having an early fence there, and it's gonna...
He's keeping up the pressure because the 4 faults in second place is 38.0 seconds.
And he did do the 6 strides on that line.
Rub, but still on the 4. Look at the time of that round, 36.45 seconds, approximately 2 seconds quicker than the current leader, Khaled Al Mobti, but he had the fence down, but 36.45, very quick indeed. Into second place goes Oliver Lazarus for Saudi Arabia. Sorry, for what? For Oliver Lazarus for South Africa.
So 4 riders left, and all 4 of them are very experienced and very fast. And we can see that a faster time than 38.24 is possible, but you also have to keep all the fences up.
For the Netherlands, Bart Bless riding Crisscross DV. 38.24.
Does 9 strides there. So take a quicker turn to the part B and C.
And that's gone.
Does 6 strides there. Just nearly as fast as Oliver.
It's 39.63 with the one fence down. Bart Bless goes into 4th place with Chris Grass and DB for the Netherlands. 6 of the 9 competitors are gone. Just that one clear. It stopped the clock in 38.24. That was Khalid Abdulrahman Al-Mobti for Saudi Arabia with Brunerga Quibes. 3 to go.
They're chasing the time, aren't they? And that time is 38.24.
And they're not the 3 that you'd want to have behind you, Mohammed, when you've got in the lead.
Yeah, Abdullah Sharbatli, Shane Breen, and Henrik von Eckermann. Yep.
The UAE in third. 3 left to go.
Current leader, Khalid Al-Mobti for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, fellow countryman into the arena. Olympic bronze medalist, World Equestrian Games silver medalist. Can he beat his fellow countryman? The time set 38.24 for Abdullah Al-Shabatli to beat with Hunter C.
أحد أعضاء فريق المملكة الفائزين بذهبية الألعاب الآسيوية متصدر قائمة الفرسان العرب في الدوري العربي ب 57 نقطة. الفارس عبد الله الشربتلي عفوا وتتجاوز هنتر.
Now, the pressure on these last 3 riders. 38.24.
Wastes no time, turns close to fence. Does the 8 strides.
Waste no time coming down to the double.
Does the 6 strides.
6. Up and over, and that's the new leader. Abdullah Al-Shabatli with Hunter C takes the lead on 37.12 here at the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the first 2 spots at the moment with 2 to jump. But at the moment, it's Abdullah Al-Shabatli in first place, 37.12. What a superb round of jumping.
That was phenomenal. Absolutely fabulous. 37-12. Abdullah Al-Shabatli.
Last 2 riders. This is getting exciting now.
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the first 2 places, Ireland and the Netherlands to come. Shane Breen, Z7 Ipswich for Ireland.
Riding team Z7,
Pensive.
Z7 Ipswich, Shane Breen.
We've seen the time beaten, but that was with one fence down, Oliver Lazarus from South Africa. Shane Breen for Ireland.
He's getting a good run at number 1. Turns tightly around number 7. Does the 9 strides there. Turns very sharp.
Very quick away from that fence.
Does 7 strides there.
On 7. Great angle. Gallops down to the last. It looks very good indeed on the clock. He's there. 36.68. Shane Breen for Ireland goes into the lead in the Longines Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi. Shane Breen, Z7 Ipswich. Stops the clock, 36.68, the new leader. 1 to go.
and he really galloped down to the end while Abdullah added an extra stride there just to be safe.
And he did the 7 coming down to that yellow oxer, which I thought may have actually cost him, but he judged it perfectly.
He made up for it.
Yeah.
And now with our last rider, this is going to be an exciting finish with a really fast rider. So
1 to go. Shane Breen, 36.68, the new leader for Ireland. For Sweden, Ulrich von Eckermann, Glamour Girl.
Just gone all quiet here.
Very quiet indeed. Now he's travelling.
Does the 8.
Takes the 6. Look at the speed. 36.68, it's a rattle, but it's still there. He races down to the last. It looks like he's got plenty of time on the clock. He clears it. He went in front, 34. And the last is down.
Fence 14 is down.
Fence 14 is down. Everybody here is in shock because we did not see that. That was a very late falling pole. So 34.45, a late falling pole takes away the spoils for Sweden and piles on the championship spoils for Shane Breen for Ireland, who's taken the Longines FEI Grand Prix. Here we go, look at that. No! You wouldn't believe it! Well, that was drama here in Abu Dhabi. What an exciting end to the most fantastic competition, the 2022 President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup, the Longines FEI Grand Prix, goes to Shane Breen for Ireland with Z7 Ipswich. Let's have a look at the full results. Shane Breen takes the Longines Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. Abdullah Al-Shabatli with Hunter C in second place, followed by fellow countryman Khaled Abdul Rahman Al-Mopti in third. Ulrich von Eckermann with that extraordinary round from Glamour Girl in fourth. Oliver Lazarus with Butterfly NML for South Africa in fifth place. In sixth, Mohammed Al-Hajri for our hosts here in Abu Dhabi with G's Fabian. Seventh, Bar Bless with Chris Grass for the Netherlands, followed by Joe Freiling, fellow countryman with Long John Silver. And then in ninth place, just the 9 to come forward for the second of the 2 rounds, Miriam Schneider, Fiber Fresh, Popeye. What a tremendous competition. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from this afternoon's Grand Prix. That was incredible competition, but let's reflect on what we have witnessed this afternoon at the Longines FEI Grand Prix. Mohammed, it's been a perfectly laid out competition, isn't it? It's been absolutely, it's
great sport. The weather has been kind to us. We got through with it. Wonderful. And that finish was crazy.
Crazy finish.
With that cup, just the pole.
Saudi Arabia, at this point, Saudi Arabia in first and second place, but Shane Breen was to ruin their party. Shane Breen, Z7 Ipswich, takes the #1 spot. Well, let's reflect back on the afternoon of the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup here in Abu Dhabi, as the 36 riders came forward for this edition of the Longines FEI Grand Prix. 9 places there were in the jump-off, and it turned out that Shane Breen for Ireland, winning his second competition in this arena today, stopped the clock in 36.68 with Z7 Ipswich and became the champion of the Longines FEI Grand Prix 2022 here in the UAE. Mohammed, we couldn't have asked for a better competition.
No, the second round was really competitive, really great. you know, starting off with that clear with Khalid Al-Mubti and just building up the tension just till our last rider. I mean, couldn't ask for a better second round, really.
Well, as we wait for the prize giving of the Longines FEI Grand Prix here in Abu Dhabi, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to Vice President of the Show Jumping Committee for the UAE Equestrian Federation, Mohammed Al-Nadki. Mohammed, I hope you've enjoyed this afternoon. Thank you so much for being here in the commentary position in Abu Dhabi. It's been a super competition, and as you, as organizer of this entire show, thank you. It's been fantastic.
It's been a pleasure, and I hope all our viewers enjoyed this competition. And looking forward to Sunday.
And you're going to join us on Sunday?
I'll join you again on Sunday.
Mohammed,
so
thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
See you for the Longines FEI Nations Cup in 2 days' time. Thanks ever so much, Mohammed.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So we wait for the prize giving. So we're just a few moments away from celebrating the successes in the 2022 Longines FEI Grand Prix. The FEI World Equestrian Games later on in the year, and those that jump just with the 4 faults from the first round all gain a qualifying place for the World Equestrian Games later on this year. That's to be held in Herning in Denmark. So the officials here getting cold in the desert, waiting for the prize giving. But there's one thing for sure, one man who won't be feeling the cold is Shane Breen for Ireland, who's taken the Longines Grand Prix. Now the prize giving ceremony for the 2022 Longines FEI Grand Prix. One of the highlights of the week of the president of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. Shane Breen with Z7 Ipswich leads the winners, the prize winners, into the arena as the Grand Prix champion here in Abu Dhabi. Ipswich, a 14-year-old gelding, Belgian warm blood. Shane Breen, who won a class earlier this afternoon here. Ireland, who field the team in the Longines FEI Nations Cup, the Middle East qualifier on Sunday. General Arisi, Chief Executive Officer of the United Arab Emirates National Federation, speaks with the FEI board member and chairman of the jumping committee, Mr. Stephen Ellenbrook.
Delighted to welcome our presentation party. His Excellency General Ahmed Nasser Al-Raisi, President of the United Arab Emirates Equestrian Racing Federation, President of Interpol. His Excellency Ahmed Al-Khawaisi, Chief Executive of the Abu Dhabi Sports Council. Mr. Ernest Chingova, Advisor to Longines, and Mr. Stefan Ellenbrook, the FEI board member and chair of the jumping committee.
So we wait for the presenting party to come forward to congratulate Shane Breen of Ireland.
أمامكم حضورنا الكريم أمام المنصة حامل كأس رئيس الدولة لقفز الحوادث للعام 2022 الفارس شين برين من إيرلندا.
The national anthem. Congratulations to the winner of the President of the UAE
the national anthem
presented by Longines.
of Ireland.
Team Z7's Z7 Ipswich, Shane Breen, Ireland.
نرجو من الحضور الكريم الوقوف بأداء السلام الوطني إيرلندا.
Congratulations to Shane Breen and Team Z7 with Ipswich for taking the 2022 Longines FEI Grand Prix. Coming forward to congratulate Shane Breen,
Congratulating Shane Breen, Z7 Ascot.
Mr. Urs Scheindorfer, advisor to Longines, presents the beautiful timepiece to Shane Breen.
Z7 Ipswich and Shane Breen receiving the Longines watch. And now I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Stefan Ellenbrook, the FEI board member and the chair of the jumping committee, to congratulate our champion.
Now congratulations from Mr. Stephen Ellenbrook, FEI board member and chair of the jumping committee.
The President's Cup. Delighted to welcome His Excellency Major General Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Raisi, President of the UAE Equestrian and Racing Federation, President of Interpol, to present the President's Cup 2022.
And the President's Cup
Ireland.
being presented to Shane Prix by General Arezi, Chief Executive Officer of United Arab Emirates National Federation.
لتكريم بطل كأس صاحب السمو رئيس الدولة لقبض الحوادث للعام 2022 وتسليم الكأس الذهبي لحامل هذا الكأس الفارس شين برين من ايرلندا.
A wise move.
بشعار زد 7 ثاني تواجد لزد 7 العام الثاني على التوالي. لأول مرة تفوز ايرلندا بكأس رئيس الدولة لقبض الحوادث.
And that draws to a close the start of a great weekend here at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup, as we witness Shane Breen of Ireland take the Longines FEI Grand Prix with Z7 Ipswich. And we move on to Sunday. Live coverage coming from Abu Dhabi at 14:30 local time for the first of the 10 Longines FEI Nations Cup qualifiers. The Middle East qualifier will be taking place in this arena in 2 days' time.
Second place. Many congratulations.
We congratulate the riders for the Grand Prix. In second place, Abdullah Al Shabatli for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia with Hunter C. In third, Khalid Abdul Rahman Al Bobti with Kunoga Quibas. Similarly, for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, puts them in a strong place for the Nations Cup on Sunday. Enrique von Eckermann with Glamour Girl in fourth for Sweden. In fifth, Oliver Lazarus for South Africa with Butterfly NML. And in sixth place for the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed Al Hajri with G's Fabian. That's the top six here in Abu Dhabi as we draw to a close the coverage of the 2022 Longines FEI Grand Prix from the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. As we close the coverage from here, we'll show some highlights from this afternoon's great competition. From me, Phil Ghazala, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday for the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup here in Abu Dhabi. In the meantime, have fun and stay safe. Bye-bye.
ندعو سعادة الدكتور أحمد ناصر الرئيسي وسعادة أحمد السبيسي لتكريم الفائز بالمركز الثالث.
In fourth place. Oh, so unlucky. 3 seconds quicker. The pole roll backwards. But he is an Olympic champion. He's a European and he's an 11th time and he's a sport personality in Sweden. Congratulations to Henrik von Eckermann and Drama Girl, Sweden.
الفائز بالمركز الرابع الفائز من السبورت الروماني السويد.
And in fifth place, first time here at the President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup. Well done indeed to Oliver Lazarus of Butterfly NML, South Africa.
الفائز بالمركز الخامس من جنوب افريقيا الفارس اوليفر لازاروس.
And now, before the lap of honour, we invite Shane to step off Zone 7 Ipswich to come and have his photograph taken by the fabulous Longines President of the UAE Show Jumping Cup.
سعادة اللواء الدكتور أحمد ناصر الرئيسي رئيس اتحاد الإمارات للفروسية والسباق، رئيس منظمة الشرطة الجنائية الدولية الانتربول، وسعادة أحمد القبيسي مدير قطاع الخدمات المساندة في مجلس أبو ظبي الرياضي، والسيد أرشين دوبر ممثل لونجين، والسيد ستيفن أمبروك عضو مجلس إدارة قفز الحواجز بالاتحاد الدولي للفروسية لالتقاط صورة تذكارية مع حامل الكأس في نسخته 11 الفارس شين برين من إيرلندا.
Look at the names on there, Ramja Hamid, Shekaratina, Al-Rakhdoon, Philip Marshak, and now Shane Breen. Our very grateful thanks indeed to our presentation party, to His Excellency Major General Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Raisi, President of the UAE Equestrian and Racing Federation, President of Interpol, His Excellency Ahmed Al-Raisi, the Chief Executive Officer of the Abu Dhabi Sports Council, and also Shane Dofer from our presenting sponsor Longines and Stefan Ellenbrook on behalf of the FEI. Fabulous sport, led off by the champion, the President's Cup champion, Shane Breen, set 7 Ipswich.
أمامكم حضورنا الكريم يمر في الميدان من أمام الشاشة أبطال كأس رئيس الدولة لقفز الحوادث للموسم 2022 حامل الكأس في نسخته 11 من إيرلندا الفارس شين برين. عبد الله الشربتلي من المملكة العربية السعودية في المركز الثاني. خالد عبد الرحمن المقيم من المملكة العربية السعودية في المركز الثالث. هنري بون إكرمن من السويد في المركز الرابع. أوليفر ليزروف في المركز الخامس. مرة أخرى حامل كأس صاحب السمو رئيس الدولة لقفز الحوادث العام 2022 شين برين من إيرلندا. بهذا وصلنا لنهاية شوط الجائزة الكبرى المقدم من لونجي. نراكم في تمام الساعة 6:30.
6:30, our next competition, and well done to Shane Breen.